Bumming with Bob. Let's have a few brews. We'll have some fun with the bum wine crew. So kick your feet up and grab you a beer. 'Cause damn, man, I'm glad that you're here.
All right. This is Bumwine Bob welcoming you to an all-new edition of Bumming with Bobcat. And hopefully you've all recovered from your 2022 BumwineBob.com Battle of the Booze hangover, where Mickey's Fine Malt Liquor was the tournament champion. So we are getting back on track this week as we are welcoming a special guest to the show. She is I'll say a sometimes podcaster. I'm sure she'll tell us why. She's an OnlyFans hustler. Some do find her simply irresistible. She is Sunny. She is Sunny, the Salt City Sun Goddess. Miss Sunny, how are you tonight?
I'm great. How are you? Thanks for inviting me on.
No.
Fun.
Yes. Thanks for coming on here. And yes, I had to throw in that simply irresistible because that was kind of the catalyst to our whole conversation was, most people know. I mean, we'll get more into everything that you do, but you had posted a picture on your Instagram stories using the Robert Palmer classic, Simply Irresistible. And anybody who knows me knows I am a big Robert Palmer fan and Simply Irresistible, and it's one of my go-to drunk dancing songs. So that was kind of the catalyst for we've kind of gone back and forth a few times prior to that, but that was kind of what really got the ball rolling.
I think so. We were both like, I was like, I have a mind for music. It was just one picture. I was like, I don't know, I gotta get it catchy somehow. So I was like, that song popped in my head, and I like slid into the living room with my husband. I was like, I made the best story. He's like, oh God, what'd you do now? And I showed him. He's like, that's great. He's like, that's good. Because some of them he's just like, oh my God, what? And some of them he's like, that's funny.
Hey, whatever gets people's attention, that's really that's the name of the game, really.
It works, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, maybe not so much, of me and the podcast, but here we are.
There we go.
But hey, thanks for coming on here and hanging out for a bit here tonight. Now, are you cracking open any fine beverages tonight? You drinking anything?
I just put a little bit of vodka in some Sprite. That's about it.
Hey,
but hey, it starts it.
It works. That's like an old reliable right there. Right? You can take a Sprite and vodka. I've done that many times. You really can't go wrong with that. Now, was it any fancy vodka there? Or is it just like
Absolutely not.
No?
No. I don't buy the vodka in the house, so I don't get a say in that. But so it's like the bottom shelf. I call it the homeless man's vodka.
Is it the plastic jug?
No, it's glass.
Okay, all right. So if you're not drinking your vodka from the plastic jug, you're at least one step up from the real bottom shelf vodka. So
it's like third up, I think.
Yeah, you're one step above the bottom shelf. You're not at that top shelf Grey Goose level. Yeah. It's probably at that. The Smirnoff.
They
Svedka.
all work the same.
It is. It all gets the job done. And if you're mixing it with something like a Sprite or some other drink, then who really cares? I'm not really going to spend too much on the alcohol if it's the taste of that is going to be hidden by the mixer anyway. So.
Oh, I agree.
So spend the $20, get the big jug. That will
have a whole weekend party.
Exactly. That'll last you a little bit longer. So there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. So I kept it simple here tonight. I'm just drinking on a classic PBR here tonight. This was the runner-up in the Battle of the Booze tournament.
I was gonna say, are you sad it didn't win?
I was happy either way. It was a tough matchup at the end. I mean, I know the whole tournament was tough. I know you took part. You did some voting in there.
Some of them I didn't know what they were, so I was just like, whatever sounds better.
Yeah. And that's one of the things you brought up. Some people will see these things, and if you haven't tried them, you're just kind of like, okay, which one of these sounds more appealing than the other one? So you just kind of pick one. So, but now it gives you something that if you can find some of these drinks, you can now go searching and give them a shot. So maybe for next year, you'll be more educated in the bottom shelf and everything that goes along with it, and help us.
I had no idea how many Four Lokos there were out there. Like I remember drinking that like when I shouldn't have been drinking it in high school. But that shit tasted awful then. I can't imagine what they've done to drink.
And yes, well, there was a ton of them in the tournament of Four Lokos. There was still a ton more that, I mean, you could have done a whole Four Loko tournament itself with probably, I think it's at least 20 flavors, I think, at least.
Oh my gosh.
So
many.
Yeah. And some are bad, some are not so bad. I'm not going to go out and say some of them are really quote unquote good, but
yeah, that's true.
they're better than the others. They're kind of in their own world over there. But I can't hate on Four Loko too much. After all my bitching and complaining to them about trying to get them to either sponsor the podcast or do something with it, they did send me a nice little box of Four Loko merchandise. So I can't hate on them too much for that. They gained some respect.
Hey, I just remember it in high school. Also Mickey's. I was thinking about that. I was like, the first time I tried a Mickey's was from a guy in high school named Mickey. I'm like, this is my beer. And I was like, oh yeah. Like, girls do the dumbest things in high school to be like, oh yeah, I'll be a girlfriend. Like, girls I'm glad they stopped that. Like a lot of these young girls don't do that anymore.
And then you probably drank it. You're probably like, I mean, well, Mickey's isn't bad compared to some other malt liquors that are out there. But still, if you're not used to that taste and that flavor, it could be kind of a shock, because you're thinking of like a regular beer, but it's kind of a little stronger than that. So you're like, oh yeah, this is great. Yeah, okay. Then you're just kind of trying to drink it as fast as you can and say, okay, do you have anything else I can drink other than this?
Pour it over your shoulder real quick while he's not looking.
yeah. And I don't want to be wasteful, but if you do what you got to do, that's it. That's it. But hey, I mean, like I said, I'm not too bummed that PBR lost. It would have been nice to see him win, but I am paying my respects here, and I'm also enjoying it out of a Bum Wine Bob brown bag koozie, which might be making their return. Anybody out there who's listening, there might be another order coming through of the brown bag koozies of the can and 40-ounce sizes. So stay tuned to bumwinebob.com for that. So that's kind of my little cheap plug here before we.
No, they're cute. I saw them on Instagram. So hey, yeah, go look at them, guys.
Yeah. It's all good. It's all good. But hey, so bringing you on the show here, and I want to start off that you were a sometimes podcaster, because that's kind of where we first connected, was through the podcast, the underground podcast scene, people listening. There's a really dark underweb of podcasters.
Deep. All the podcasters are so nice, to be honest. I was like, oh, this is awesome. But you have to be cool enough to get in, I guess.
You got to be on the list. It's like any private party. You show up to that door. If you're on the list, it lets you in. Otherwise, you're just left out in the cold, hoping that somebody passes out or gets carted out and can't handle their booze, so you take their spot. But you've kind of been slacking, though.
I have been.
It's been what, January? I mean, we're in April here, and January was your last podcast.
Oh, that is so long ago. So yeah, I want to do it all the time, but my husband doesn't want to do it all the time, and then we get busy. But we have more material now, and I was like, okay, I'm going on this podcast, so that's a jump start. Like, we're starting again.
Yeah. This is I'm lighting the fire under you here to pick it back up. But I guess I mean, how did you? I was gonna say, how did you get started with it, and what made you want to go down the podcast road?
Yeah, I used to work for like a women's clothing company in like the logistics part, and they were closing it down. And my boss told me before, and I was like, I don't want to fucking work for anybody else. So she was like, well, figure out, what you want to do. And so I started looking into podcasting because I love podcasts. I'd sit there at that job for years listening to podcasts. So I learned everything I could. And I took it first to one of my cousins, and we were going to have kind of like a spooky, like superstitious one, but she would never pick up the Skype call or the Zoom call. So I was like, you know what? I'm done. Like, I have a whole Instagram page for that. So if anybody out there wants to do that one with me,
there you go. See, maybe we can be a podcast matchmaker here tonight.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so if you're looking to do a spooky podcast, hit up
I have like the first
Sunny over here.
The first 3 episodes of that one written. And then I was so mad about it. So eventually my husband gave it and was like, all right, do the one you said we could do together. And I was like, yes, let's do it. And then it actually was really well. I thought we did really good. Like, I would listen to us. I was like, I would listen to us if I wasn't us. So I liked it. And we called it Salt City Mix because we live in Salt Lake City, which no, we're not Mormon. But he's Black, I'm white. It's really rare out here to see that. So we were like, hey, let's just put that in it too. So yeah, and Salt Lake's weird, guys. The alcohol laws are out of control.
What is that? What is? I mean, I don't know too much other than the whole, Mormon, population out there. Yeah. I mean, what goes on in Salt Lake City and in Utah? I am curious about these alcohol laws that you're talking about.
Yeah, they're so weird. Like they're weird. Well, it's the Mormons. They don't like alcohol because they're prophet or whatever. I don't know. I mean, they don't like it because their God said don't like it. So they put it only in liquor stores. You can only get like wine or liquor or like soup. Well, before super like harder beer, like 5-point beer, because we only had 3.5. Finally, the beer companies were like, fuck you, Utah. We're not doing it anymore.
We're not making anything special for you. Either you're taking the beer we're making for everybody, or you're not getting it at all. Yeah, take it or leave it. That's it.
And then, like, it's just that. It's like the Mormon thing. If you've ever watched the movie SLC Punk, it's an independent film. The Matthew Lillard plays it, and he'll say this thing, like, it's the dumbest thing in Utah to have these liquor laws because not only do you have a drunk on your hand, they have to drink more beer to get drunk. Now you got a fat drunk on your hand. So it's like one time, I don't know the exact laws, but I went to a birthday party. And there's like 4 of us at the table and 3 of them had shots and I was driving, so I didn't have anything. And then one of them ordered a beer. So they had beers. Sorry. First they had beers, then they ordered shots. The waitresses had to take the beers off the table so they could take the shots.
Wow.
And I was like, why is this happening? And they're like, well, this is our laws. And you can't like have alcohol in any restaurant or bar that serves it until after 11. Even if they're open before 11,
that's just way too convoluted.
There's so many. They used to put like, have you ever heard of the Zion curtain about Utah?
I have not, no.
Well, it's like a thing, but like people joke about it as like the Zion curtain that covers the beer aisle in the grocery store on Sunday.
Oh, okay. I've heard of that where they have the whole separate section kind of like roped off where it's
like the adult section.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, like the old video store back, curtain section for the adult movies of okay, you can't go back there. Are you over 18? No, you can't go back there. This is no alcohol for you. It's Sunday. You can't go over there. It's like you just see it looking at you like
it's there. It's right there though.
I can reach over. I can touch the bottle. I can grab it.
I can smell it.
Yeah. Like just come on, just give me one. All I need is one. I mean, it's like that's got to be rough to do that. I mean, because I'm assuming you're not originally from.
No, I'm a military brat, so I was born on a base in Colorado, and then I lived here before because there's a base here, but I've also lived all over the place. So Utah's the weirdest place I've ever lived. Sorry, Utah fans.
Yeah, I know. Probably have a lot of Utah listeners out there. I don't know. I we got to go
About
look at the geographical statistics of the podcast and where the downloads come from. I'm sure we probably have a big Utah
all
fan
of them,
base.
so many of them. You know,
Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, when I think of Utah, I just think of just a wide open, not desert, but it's just like that open dirt area. I don't know what it is. Something about Utah is just like you picture it as like nothing.
I know, that's how I picture like Wyoming, and I went to Wyoming, and Wyoming is nothing.
Yeah,
but we have like Salt Lake City is actually like a small, but it's like a nicer city, and like the city population of Salt Lake City is actually outgrown the Mormons. There's more none of us than them now. I don't know what they're
you
gonna
take
do.
it over there now. It's gonna like, hey, you guys, this is our state now.
So like Salt Lake City's pretty blue, but you know the rest of the place.
Yeah,
They're
like,
their
look, we're
own.
taking over here. We're gonna start revoking these liquor laws.
Yeah, and then like I was surprised that medical marijuana passed here because we voted yes. Like, and then Utah was like, sorry, that sucks for you guys. Your vote sucks. And we're just like, fuck this. And then there was like women crying about marijuana on TV. Like living in Utah is wild. It's just they're like, well, my kids will get addicted to meth. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like from pot to meth that quick?
That is like, oh, that escalated quickly.
Like, Jesus. Oh yeah, it's a wild place. It really is. You still have like cowboy people, but then you've got like the old Mormon people and the new Mormon people, and you've got all the misfits in between and the others.
It's a real melting pot. I guess you don't really.
It really
think
is
of Utah,
actually.
You don't think of Utah as the melting pot of the United States, but as you run down all these different sections of it, you're like,
Yeah.
wow, you know,
No.
I guess maybe we're missing something here.
If you guys visit, you'll be like, wow, this isn't like the Stepford Wives crazy place I thought it might be.
Yeah. Like I'm sure
But
there
I'm not
are.
saying you have to. It's beautiful camping out here, though. Like
Yeah.
Park City, beautiful.
It seems like a nice place. It's just
Weird.
yeah, weird. I guess that's a good way to say it. Weird. I was trying to find the right word for it, and I think you kind of
Yeah, I think I got it. Yeah.
yeah, you got it there. And it was like, okay, well, now if you can take your podcast and kind of take all that weirdness of living there and putting it into a form of media, then you have your winning combination right there.
But we're moving. We're leaving here in August. We will no longer be Salt City. I don't know what we're gonna do.
Okay. Are you staying in the?
No, we're actually gonna move to Montana, another random state.
Okay. Well, it's a little. I was gonna say a more normal state, but
I think so.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think when you think of Montana, you think of more like farms and like livestock, things like that.
Mountains, so many
mountains. Not so much of just like I kept picturing of just salt, like essentially just salt, just like
piles of salt.
Just piles of salt, big open areas, nothing else around. So. Hey,
sounds like the Great Salt Lake.
Hey,
though.
good luck to you. So I guess you'll have to rebrand. Well, I guess first you have to get the podcast back on track, and
okay, I will.
and then rebrand it for your move.
Right. Yes. I have no idea. I'll have to work on that, but we will get started. I'm gonna make it.
Yeah. No. It's funny to see because I mean, why? Because it was about a year or so ago, I think. When did you start the?
Like November-ish of last year. So not too long, but we've taken a long break. We're just starting.
Yeah, usually it's like I'm taking a brief hiatus. Okay, it's 3-4 months. We're still on a break, guys. Don't worry about it.
It's all right. We're still here though. I promise. Maybe one day. I don't know.
Well, hey, you still accepted my invite to have you on this show, so it's not like you totally
no, I haven't
gave up and was like, all right, screw it. We had fun. Not like
I have to. Oh, sorry.
No, I was gonna say it's not like the other pandemic podcasters that there was the whole podcast boom in like 2020 when everything was shut down and everybody and their cat started a podcast, and now you look now it's okay. Well, now how many people are still running these podcasts that it's like they went like 5-10 episodes and then just vanished. It was like, okay. So I get like all these follows from people on Twitter of like, oh yeah, here's this new podcast. It's like, okay, cool. They go through, then a year later, you go back and look like, oh, what happened to that one? It's like, and they're gone. Nobody's updated anything in months. So
it's like, I guess they disappeared. I promise I'll come back. Even if he doesn't come back, I'll come back by myself, I guess.
Hey, or maybe, like we said, we'll do the podcast matchmaking here for you. Maybe we can get somebody to join you on your other idea of a show.
Hit me up on Instagram.
Yeah, but hey, you got to do what you got to do to promote everything you have going on. And when you're not podcasting, now I guess your real focus these days is on your OnlyFans and everything related.
Still
to
my
that.
second job.
Oh,
I have a real job.
Well, yeah.
I would say on the internet, that's like my main focus.
Right. Well, I think that's the same. I think with most of us people that are in the podcast world, unless you're really at that top level, I don't think it's paying the bills yet to do this. I'm happy if I can just get some beer money off of this, which is fine. Hey, anything you can get.
It's fun though.
Exactly. It's fun if you can make a few bucks off of it. That's great. And I guess that's kind of the same thing you have with the OnlyFans now. I mean, I guess what makes you take that turn to decide one day, like, hey, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna create an OnlyFans.
My story is when I started dating my husband, he kept saying, oh, you like when we were boyfriend and girlfriend, he's like, you should do OnlyFans, you should do the campsites. I was like, I don't want to. I don't want to. And he's like, just do it. I was like, I don't want to. 3 years later, I was like, all right, I don't do it. I'll do OnlyFans. He was like, what? I was like, I'll do an OnlyFans. He's like, why? I was like, I don't know. I feel like it. Let's do it. He's like, okay. So we made it, and I was like, let's just go for it. And so I just went for it. And honestly, it was a huge confidence booster for me. Like all these people are like, oh my God, you're so hot. And I was like, me? Me? They're like, I can't believe you're so gorgeous. I was like, dude, I was smoking pot behind the school, the stoners all high school being called ugly. What the fuck? Where were you guys?
It really turned quick there. That was like a sharp right turn. You're like, wait a second. What are you saying? Oh, okay. Well, thank you.
And then I'm like, oh, I am.
Hey, if the people like it, then you're doing something right.
Yeah.
Hey,
you get some choice messages from choice people where you're like, that's gross, but I know I'm doing my job right.
Well, I was gonna say, I mean, I know I've talked to many people over the years in either the adult industry or people that do an OnlyFans or things like that, and they always say that you get some interesting requests and comments from people there. So I don't envy that part of your job.
Oh no, I say I used to strip a long time ago before I was a mom. And then you'd hear like different weird things there, but the internet makes it a whole new game because you're not talking to that person. So these people will just say whatever turns them on. They don't care, because if you turn them down, they'll find somebody else who will do it. So you have to set your limits. So I'm not going to do whatever these crazy people want. But I have friends and a sister, or a half. She's my stepsister. She does the same kind of thing, and we're always sharing stories about that. Like, don't do anything you don't want to do, dude. But if you can do it, go ahead.
Right. It's like you said, people through the internet, it's that sense of they can go out with that crazy comment or whatever. Like you said, it's not like if you were working as a stripper where you're face to face with somebody, and I'm sure maybe you would, maybe you get some crazy requests during that too, but it's less likely than somebody who's going to come up with some out there wacky idea of a request for something. You're just like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't know, some things. And then all the scam stuff, I bet, like with the podcast stuff, I'm sure you get that as well. But with the OnlyFans scam shit, there's so many crazy things. Like I got one picture. It was the same picture, two different accounts followed me, and then both messaged me and was like, "Want to be my sugar baby?" And I'm like,
Oh yeah,
dude, like, that's so stupid. Like,
oh yeah.
I don't know who keeps making these accounts or what they get from it, but nobody's falling for it. So,
well, yeah, but hey, some people do, and that's the thing. I mean, I with stuff like that, I have a somewhat of a fascination with it. I'll follow on Reddit. Like there's scams, the sections and things like that where people will talk about scams or like scam baiting, where they'll get a request like that, then they'll egg the person on and just kind of just to mess with them. So I mean, there's a ton of that out there, and some of the stuff is fascinating to see what they come back with and what they're trying to get you to do. Like, oh yeah, you can be my sugar baby. Yeah, just give me your bank account number and, your banking login. Yeah, so then once you give me that, then I'll deposit, $5,000 a week for you doing nothing, just chatting with me.
That's
like,
so stupid.
Like, wait, you don't want any like pictures or any or meetups or anything like that? It's like, no,
money's not free, guys.
It's like, yeah, anything that sounds too good to be true, guys, is probably too good to be true. So if we can, this is kind of like our little PSA for the podcast.
Keep an eye out.
Yeah. If it sounds too good to be true, if somebody's just giving you money for no reason, don't take it, because there's some sort of an ulterior motive that you're probably going to get screwed on in the process.
Yeah, I've heard about like people accepting checks and then it would like bounce and ruin their. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, a lot of stuff like this. Say like people will be selling a phone for like $300, and then somebody will say, "Oh yeah, I'll buy the phone.
Oh yeah,
I'll give you a check, but I'm going to give you a check for $1,000. But hold on to the money. I need to pay something else." And then you deposit it, and then you send them the phone, and then it bounces. And then you're on the hook now for that $1,000. So, like I said, what people have to really, what people have to gain off of this stuff, it's like, dude, get a real fucking job, okay?
or use that brain to do that shit with something better. I don't know. If you're coming up with all these crazy scams, you can do something.
Go start an OnlyFans of your own. Just
everybody can have an OnlyFans. It's not just for porn.
Exactly. And at least they backed off of when OnlyFans was going to limit the adult content last year. I know I was talking to a few people after that when they were said, "Oh no more," and then there was like the whole uproar of everything, and the anybody who's doing adult content was like, "What are you doing?"
No. Yeah, no, my husband was pissed about that too. He was like, "That's fucked up. You can't take away. So who cares how they earn their money?" I was like, exactly. Why do they care? Like,
I know. It's like, just think how much money that they are making off of this. And then, because I mean, anything you're making off of it, they're getting a percentage of it. So then how many people now have OnlyFans? Like we were talking about podcasts, and everybody and their cat has one. Well,
everyone
pretty much the same thing with their OnlyFans. That was the other thing too. Was like everything shut down. Okay, anybody who's in the adult industry is like, okay, I got OnlyFans now, and hey, more power to them. You do what you got to do to make your money and keep content flowing when you can't get out there and do some other work. So it's just like it's amazing, but I got to give you credit for it, because I mean it's funny because at OnlyFans anybody can have one. So you can just be a regular person doing this. It's not like you're some professional adult actress or something like that. You're just a regular person that decides, hey, I'm going to do this.
I tell people all the time, I think, because you don't have to show anything you don't want to show, whatever. I tell people all the time, like, if you want to boost your self-confidence, go do that. You could you don't have to show anything you don't want to show. And hey, it's more power to you, because like, hey, you can do something very easy and get some cash flow from it. So it's up to you what you want to do.
Exactly. If the people like it, then hey, go for it. You do what you want, and like I said, you put stuff out there. You put your polls out there. It's okay. What do people want to see? What do they want? I'm sure you get, like we were saying, the I guess, some not crazy requests from people. So you can have some fun with it in the process.
Yeah, it is fun. It is fun. And like, I'm a goofy person. So like with the song, the Simply Irresistible, like I like to put just my personality out there, but other girls do like, cosplay or this or that. But if you just want to put your personality, let it shine. Hey, that's that's how lazy I am. I don't want to. Cosplay's hard, first off, and expensive. So,
yeah, you have to be really dedicated to that craft.
It's beautiful. My sister does it and she's great at it. And I'm just like, oh, so much work, dude. Like, that's so much work.
Right. If you're going all out with it and you're going to, get the costumes and everything and really invest into that character, that's a lot. That's a lot.
It is. I love seeing it though. I love seeing all the stuff people do. That's fun. But yeah, if you just do cosplay, you can have an OnlyFans. You don't even have to be naked. People just want to look at you.
Yeah, no, yeah. It's not a requirement to say, okay, you have to be naked for this. You have a lot of successful people that have an OnlyFans that are not ever naked. So
very true.
So each their own. But hey, if you want to be out there and you want to be naked, hey, go for it.
Be naked.
Be naked. Do what you want to do. It's all you.
Right on. Everybody should feel that free all the time. That's my philosophy.
Definitely.
Go with the flow. Don't fight with anybody.
Drink your jug of vodka, add some Sprite to it, and have a good time.
Maybe splash of Sprite.
Yeah, maybe throw back a Four Loko. See how crazy you want to get. I mean, I think you got to. I think you got to give Four Loko another shot down the road. I mean,
I will. I think I'm remembering terrible nights when I was young.
Yeah, well, yes. If you're going back and thinking of the high school younger days of doing that, which was probably drinking too much of it. And I always tell people that one Four Loko is really all you need, because once you go past that, now you've gone over that threshold of the alcohol, the sugar, I mean,
yeah.
Ever since they took out the original ones that had the caffeine in it, which was the recipe for the disaster from the very beginning of, let's just put alcohol and caffeine together. Why not? What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Oh, people will die. Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's pretty bad.
Like vodka Red Bulls. Oh my.
Right. Yeah.
Those were so popular.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That was, yeah. And you'll still see people here and there that will be vodka Red Bull, or more of it now is throwing that in with other mixed drinks. You have vodka, there'll be Red Bull in it, and some other alcohol or other mixes in there with it to kind of dilute it a bit.
What's your favorite mixed drink?
I mean, it's a tough call. Because when I like a regular, just like a Jack and Coke or a Captain and Coke, something like that. Just a regular, rum and Coke, like something like that.
That works.
And I've said on some prior podcasts was that I was kind of going back down the Fireball road and doing a Fireball and ginger ale has become a favorite.
Sounds like Christmas
of mine, and that was, and I said it was like I was doing that around the holidays, because I was like, okay, Fireball's red, the ginger ale is green,
mix it together.
It's very festive, and because I had a bottle of Fireball that was just kind of sitting around, and I was like, you know what, screw it. So I mixed them together. I'm like, this is pretty good. I mean, you get that cinnamon taste to it, so it is a very festive holiday drink. But that's good. But I'll mix up some vodka and even just some seltzer and like some watermelon seltzer or something like that. So I mean, since I deal with all this stuff that's on the bottom shelf, I am not a picky person at all when it comes to to mixed drinks and things like that. I mean, what's your go-to drink?
I like anything with oh god, what is it called now? Oh, the Kraken rum. I love that.
Okay.
The dark spiced rum.
Okay.
It's my favorite. because I'm not picky either.
Right. Yeah, it's like, okay, what can I mix this with? Okay, what do I have? Like,
Yeah.
oh, you have some
Like
juice?
orange juice?
Right.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, okay, yeah, sure, mix it up there. Yeah, why not? Okay, apple juice, cranberry juice. Just throw it in there. It's all good.
Kool-Aid.
I mean, are you usually like a mixed drink girl, or I mean, what's your go-to
Wine.
just drinking in general? Like
Wine. Just
wine?
like Moscato or like a Riesling, like white wines. I really like white wines.
Like a nice like chilled wine. Okay.
You'll catch me with ice cubes in my wine
Hey,
glass.
nothing wrong with that. Hey, it's that season now. It's springtime, warmer days, sitting outside, having some drinks.
White wine spritzer.
Hey, I am not one to judge at all. I always say every single time it's a judgment-free zone here of whatever you like to drink. I'm not gonna hate on anybody for their alcohol choice. As long as you like it, you enjoy it, you get a nice buzz going. Hey,
I don't have to drink. I don't care what people drink either, but I don't have to drink everything.
No. You're not trying to impress that guy anymore and drinking the Mickeys. So
No, I'm not.
you've gone past that
anymore.
Yeah, you've gone past that point in your life where you have to drink stuff to impress somebody. So you can just have what you want when you want it and have a good time.
That's so true. Yeah. My friend, I have a great friend. She comes, hangs out all the time, and she makes the craziest drink. She'll take like everything we got. She'll be like, some wine, some rum, some vodka, some of this margarita. And I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Where did you find this stuff? That's like, that was sitting in the back of the fridge for like 2 years. Screw it. Let's just pour it in here. There's alcohol. There's alcohol in this. It's gonna kill whatever bacteria was left in it. Yeah, why not?
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
If you throw up, you'll just think it's a hangover.
Yeah. And you're clearing out the fridge in the process. So it kills two birds with one stone. Yeah.
But some of them taste great. I will admit that.
Sometimes you just stumble across what ends up being a good little concoction of a drink. You're like, okay, well, what do I have here? Okay, I have this. Okay, I have this alcohol, this mixer. Pour this in here. Okay, throw a little garnish on there. Then you taste it and you're like, damn, that's pretty good.
I should be bartender.
Yeah. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna call this. Or people just watch you be like, okay, what are you pouring into this? Oh, it's just all the random stuff that's left over.
It's fine.
It's all good. It's all good. So what's next for you? I mean, I know you said you're working on getting the podcast going again. I mean, I guess what's on your agenda? Are you working on anything else?
Well, the podcast, that's about it. I just do my own like art projects at home sometimes. They're just for me. I have a cool job. Like I curate old toys and vintage toys and clothes and sell them online to rich people.
Okay.
So I like all those vintage old toys. So that's fun. Like we had a haul of like Barbie from like 1960s to like 1990, 2000s. And I was like, oh my God, this is the best day of my life. And then it turned into the longest 6 months of my life.
Right. At first, like, oh, this is awesome. And then you're like, months later, you're like, we're still going with this? Oh, damn it.
Still Barbie. But yeah, that's fun. So I have a lot of fun with that. But definitely podcasting. I'm gonna start again.
I'll keep pushing it. Every few weeks that goes by that there's no new podcast, I'll just kind of like poke you and say, "Hey, podcast.
Where's the podcast?"
Yeah.
Have you ever watched Family Guy?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know the "Where's my money, Brian?"
Yeah, exactly. Essentially,
yes.
That's it. Like, oh yeah, it's coming. Don't worry about it.
I got it, man.
Yeah,
It's coming.
We're working on it.
It'll be there. Got a soundbite.
So it's just a little bit at a time. Even if it is, just drop it in like a quick little, like 5-minute episode of just saying, hey, we're still alive over here.
We should. Maybe that will convince him. I'll be like, it doesn't even have to be that long.
It's just so something shows up in your feed that's like, okay, like the last thing was January 21st. It's like, okay, like April 25th. It's like, oh, hey, yeah, we're still here. Like 30 seconds.
Alive.
Like, okay, all right, okay, cool. Look, they're still there. They didn't give up yet. They're not one of those abandoning pandemic podcasters.
No, I'm just trying to get better too. I'm better at planning the music and the stuff like that because I do all of it.
Yeah, no, I hear you. There's a lot that goes into it. I hear you 100.
Yeah, I know you know.
I know there's sometimes that, I mean, I try to, well, I guess the schedule would always be to be every single week drop a podcast, but then sometimes it's every week, sometimes it's every 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. You know, then it's 3 weeks. Yeah. then every week it's like, okay, I'm getting back on track. It's like, okay, next Monday there'll be a podcast. We'll get it back on a schedule, and then next thing you know, it's like, oh crap, I didn't get one for this week, and you know, it's a process, and you know, you're very busy with your OnlyFans too, so you got to keep
titties.
Exactly. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. You got to keep the fans happy over there too. You got to keep the content. Okay, hey, you got to keep the content. You got to keep pushing the content out there too, to get people to, you know, subscribe on there. So
yeah, it's like double work.
It is. It's you got all these different aspects. You got your hands full over there, you know, literally. So. But
I wouldn't have it any other way. So I got to jump back on that.
Yeah. But hey, thank you for coming on here, and
thank you so much. I had fun
having a little cocktail here. I mean, now tell everybody where they can find you, your social media and all that good stuff.
I am just go to Instagram. That's the best way because I don't like Twitter. It's Salt City, just spelled like Salt and City, Sun Goddess, but I forgot a D in Goddess, so it's Goddess with one D. Salt City Sun Goddess with one D.
Well, did you forget it, or did somebody already have that, or did you just?
I forgot.
You just forgot.
Like, I was just typing really fast. Like, I made the email first, so I was typing fast, and I looked back and I was like, "Fuck, all right, this is how it's gonna be." I didn't want to redo it.
Right? You're like, I've already gone this far. I can't go back and change it now.
I don't have any like numbers or anything after, so maybe that helped out.
True. It's unique.
Yeah.
Anybody could put goddess in their tag, or you just did 1D. So
just one.
That's all you need.
That's all you need.
That's all you need. Or well, in some cases you need a couple Ds or more than that, depending on
there's a whole type of people that like a lot of them. So hey, exactly. Do your thing with the D.
Yeah. Miss Sunny, thanks again for coming on here.
Thank you for having me.
We will definitely have to do this again down the line. Maybe once you make the big move, and
maybe I'll have to get you on mine.
Hey, that's fine. There you go. We'll make it happen, and throw out some more Robert Palmer out there in the process.
I will.
She is Miss Sunny, the Salt City Sun Goddess with only one D. I mean, you could put two in there. Just make sure to give her a follow. Check out the podcast. Check out her OnlyFans. Give her a follow because you get some nice little sneak peeks on there of the content that you could get if you subscribe on the OnlyFans as well. So give her a follow. Check her out. Don't forget to check me out at Bumwine Bob and the website at bumwinebob.com. And until next time, cheers.
Yay.
I need a beer.